What's going on YouTube? This is your boy Jay Ronin, and today we got the top 3 Yu-Gi-Oh games to play for free on your PC. I'm not a fan of the last one that came out, the Duel Links, whatever the hell. I never played Duel Links. I think it's lame. I think any other iteration of the game, but it's not the game, it's pointless and meaningless because it's not like you can actually go to your locals. It's not like you can go. I mean, you could, but it's I don't understand that. I don't understand why you have a game and then you make like a 2.0 type of thing. But other than that, these are all free games. You could just download them, you can put them on the computer, and then you can use them. Obviously, you need internet so you can play with other people, but there's a couple of options. And I'm going to show you how to install them the quote-unquote advanced way that they mention in the Discord servers where you can download these games from. So first off, we're going to create a folder inside your C drive. So we're going to open a Windows folder. We're going to go to this PC. We're going to go to C. And then what I like to do just for simplicity's sake is create a new folder. And I'm going to call this games. And then that's where we're going to throw everything that we're going to be using. So the first game that we're going to talk about, it's YGO Pro, but the Percy version. There's a couple of them that have been coming out and a couple of them that have been out a while. So this is the YGO Pro 2 Percy version or type. So the way I do this is I already downloaded this. Here I have the raw file. So we're going to pop this open. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to extract this to that games folder that we made. So it's gonna go in there. There we go. And then this actually it's a little bit heavy, so it might take a little bit. One of the good things about this particular game is the interface is kind of clean. If you follow Mega Capital G, you see all of his dual reviews and all of his replays, then you are familiar with this. This is the one that they use for most of the replays on that channel. Obviously, you can save your replay, you can ship it, like email it out, send it out, share it, whatever. Cards are usually available as soon as they announce them. It's the weirdest thing because every time I see something like, again, Mega Capital G or DP Yugioh or any of those channels reviewing cards that Konami has just announced, I go to the game and I try to see if they're there so you can use them to try out, and for the most part they're usually there. The bad things about this game is one, there's no AI, so it's not like you can duel, let's say, against the computer. You can't duel against not a player, like a computer player or anything like that. There's no artificial intelligence. And also, they haven't updated the Master Rule 5 type of the game. So before Master Rule 5 actually became a thing, before it was in effect, you could try decks in Master Rule 5 format. You had to add a specific card to your deck, and then at the beginning of the duel, it would ask your opponent if they want to try out the new format, and they had to say yes. And then you would be able to have Master Rule 5 duels before the changes went into effect. But now that the changes are in full effect, that is still the case in the game. They still need to, like, the person that you're dueling against still needs to accept to have a Master Rule 5 duel or Master Rule 4 2020, whatever the hell you want to call it, in order for you to actually have the type of duel. So we're going to go back to the games folder that we created because we put the game there. And here it is, YGO Pro, links beta. And the other thing that we're going to do is we want to find this application executable. And we're going to do a right click. We're going to say send to desktop. Here we go. And this is it. This is the game. Like I said, if you've seen Mega Capital G's channel, you're familiar with this interface. You can click on deck edit. You could edit your decks. Like I said, most of the cards that are announced that haven't been out on the OCG event or TCG are here, so it's actually pretty cool. We have the errata version of Red Ice Darkness Metal. Nope, not yet apparently. Is it somewhere else? No. 3 tactical talents. Not even there yet. It might be in a different name. But yeah, this is it. You can watch your replays again. You can save your replays. It has a puzzle mode, which is whatever, and obviously the land mode. But the land mode, like I said, doesn't have like an AI that you can actually duel against. You can just have this and duel with somebody else inside of your network if you share it. Somebody else inside, just utilizing the same Wi-Fi or anything like that. And then obviously you have the online mode. Obviously, as with the majority of the games, beware of the rage quitters. And one of the things that YGO Pro kind of has is a lot of them. And it also has a lot of people that put their own speculations before you can actually duel them. Says, brains, anime, fun, deck, no hand traps, no this, no that. And they can actually host a game, or you can actually host a game, and then you can set your own rules for that. If you want to do Master Rule 4. And if you, like I said, you want to do Master Rule 5, you gotta add that specific card. Don't check the deck, don't shuffle the deck. There's starting life points, starting hand, draws, and all that stuff. So yeah, it's pretty cool, it's pretty fun. Like I said, the interface is kind of clean. So this is the one that I was actually using before I found the other two. So let's take a look at number 2. Okay, so the second game that we're going to look at is YGO Pro 2 Project Omega, and we're going to do the exact same thing. We're going to double click this raw file. Oh, in this case, if you notice, for example, if you open this YGO Pro one, everything is already neatly packed into this one folder, so you can go extract to and then select where this one folder is going to go. But in this case, if I open YGO Pro Omega, the actual program, the file programs are all outside of the folder. So each individual folder has their own thing. So instead of doing that, we're going to go the long route. I'm going to do a right click on this. I'm going to say extract to, and then the name of the file. This is going to create another folder with the same file and all the files inside of it. So instead of actually kind of decompressing it and putting everything outside, because I don't want all those folders to be like right on the games folder, I want it to be in its own folder. So now we're gonna go back to our games folder, and we're just gonna drag this, so that way it's a little bit neat, it's a little bit neater. We're gonna open this, we're gonna find this YGO Pro 2 executable, and we're gonna say send to desktop. And then this is the other game. One of the things that make this different is the animations are very, very flashy. That's one of the things that I like the most. The user interface is actually also very flashy. It has a ton of animations. It looks very good. It's also very customizable depending on your computer. And if you're a new player, for example, if I go to settings, you see all this clicks, and you see this computer struggling because this is an actual, this is a virtual machine. So for example, no, I don't want full screen, and then I can set the resolution to what I want. So let's say in this case, I want the lowest because I want to be able to see things. And other than that, you have a whole bunch of other stuff like Xyz effect. And what this does is, if you remember Yu-Gi-Oh! Sexal or any other Yu-Gi-Oh! Game after that, whenever they do an Xyz summon, it kind of shows like the galaxies going around and whatnot, and like the monsters going in and then the other one coming out. This actually does show that. Like if you Xyz summon and you have this one part checked, the same thing with fusion, the same thing with synchro and ritual, they all have like their own special animation for that summoning mechanic. And like I said, there's a whole bunch of stuff that you can actually customize. The smart helper, it's the one thing that I like a lot. If you're a new player coming in, it actually helps you it helps you understand like which cards can you actually play. It also has the same thing about being able to play online, and it also has like the same thing about deck editing. It's pretty much the same interface, except you can also pick a whole bunch of pre-built decks And the reason why you have these pre-built decks is because this one actually has an AI that you can duel against. You can actually duel against the computer per se. So for example, let's say this AI Blue Eyes deck, right? And if you click on it, here's the actual deck that the AI uses. Okay, Happy's Feather Duster, which is banned, and then Dark Matter, which is banned, but I don't blame it for putting them in that list. And yeah, you can actually come in, create your new deck, edit decks, remove decks, copy them, rename them, you know, do whatever you need to. The other good thing about this is, like I said, the AI. So let's say, for example, I'm going to go into a quick AI duel, and just for the hell of it, I'm going to pick that Blue Eyes deck, and let's say start the duel, just so you can actually see. What I'm trying to show here is I want to show you the hints that you get whenever you take a little bit longer or you're not sure what to do, and the game actually tells you, hey, you could activate this or activate that, or how about this or how about that, catch me outside, how about that. So for example, here we go, and then as you can see, I have my Sage with the Eyes of Blue, and you can see that Pot of Desires and Melody, is it the Melody Awakening Dragon, kind of have like a little light on the top. That's the hint section, so you can turn that off if you don't like it, but it actually works out pretty well because it actually tells you like, all right, I could activate this. Obviously doesn't mean that you need to activate that. If I wanted to normal summon my Sage with the Eyes of Blue, I could do that. It's not like I said that you have to do that. I could just go here, normal summon this, and then I'll put that there. Do I want to activate that effect? Yes, I want to activate the effect. Let's get this, and then we're gonna activate this. And because I have an effect monster, you can see that the effect of Sage with the Eyes of Blue could be triggered, so that's why you can actually see that. We're gonna ditch our White Stone of Legend. That's gonna get us a Blue Eyes. We're gonna get an alternative and a regular Blue Eyes. And then because we ditched our White Stone, that's gonna get us another Blue Eyes. And then we're gonna activate alternative to special summon. I'm gonna go for an Exceed play. I don't remember if I left the animation, the FX for the Exceed summon on, but we'll figure it out. So other than that, I'm gonna activate this. We're gonna ditch the Sage, and we're gonna summon our Spirit. And then now we're gonna go for an Exceed play. We're gonna go for Titanic Galaxy. Yep, I turned that off. And as you can see, like, it shows you all the different zones that you could put your Exceed monsters. So it's already on Master Rule 5. You don't have to add anything or, you know, do any extra steps. It's already there. And like I said, I like the interface a lot. I like the animation. I like the hints, you know, that shows you, hey, you can activate this, you can activate that. So it's pretty good for newer players. So this is YGO Pro 2 Project Omega. Let's take a look at number 3. So for the last one, we have this other game, which is I think it's also called YGO Pro, but this is Project Ignis. So since everything inside of this raw file, it's all nicely put inside one folder, we can just go extract to, and then we're gonna put this on our games folder, and then have this decompress to that. I believe that this is the one that takes a little bit longer, because good things about this is the same thing. It does have a nice user interface. Also, one of the differences between this and the Omega project is that you can actually pick the UI that you want to duel against. If you want to try out your deck against a specific type of deck, you can pick what deck the computer is going to be using against you. So I think that's a really cool thing, because if you're thinking about side decking cards for, you know, whenever tournaments reopen and start doing things again, if you want to test out how some of these cards would do against some of this other specific type of decks, you can just set that deck for the artificial intelligence, for the CPU, and then duel against that and see how you do. Other than that, it does have pretty good graphics. It doesn't have like special effects like Omega does, especially not when you summon things, you know, when you summon an Exceed monster. And it also doesn't have hints, but it's still pretty good. So let's go back to that. Let's go back to C. We're gonna open our games folder. We're gonna go into Project Ignis. We're gonna find the executable, and we're gonna do send to desktop. And then here we go. Obviously, if you want to rename all that stuff after you're done, you can just do that. And this is the interface, and the same thing. You can go and duel against other people. You can choose the competitive side or the casual side. You know, do refresh, start double clicking on these people. You know, Johnny Steps. I thought, what the hell is that? Zombie God. I'm guessing he plays zombies. Other than that, if you want to try out the artificial intelligence, all you gotta do is go into your LAN plus AI, click on host, say do not check the deck, and we're gonna go okay. And then after this, we're gonna say allow access to this. And then after this, you click where it says local AI, and you can see that you can choose the deck that you're going to be dueling against. If you want to duel against Altergeist, you want to duel against Blue Eyes or Blue Eyes Ritual, which is Chaos Max. If you want to duel against Chainburn for some reason, I don't know if you're a masochist. If you want to duel against Dark Magician, the competitive Dark Magician. If you want to, if you're a true masochist, you'll duel against this Dragoon of Red Eyes deck, which is ridiculous. Frogs, Grand Manju Stone, Light Sworn Shadow Dino if you want. So let's say we're gonna go click on that, click on add player. So this is to add the CPU with that deck, right? Light Sworn Shadow, and I'm going to be using this Pendulum Structure deck because I haven't made any. And then this is the interface. So the interface that you can see, it's pretty clean, it's nice. It's also already on Master Rule 5, the same as Project Omega. It just doesn't have like all the flashiness and all the flashy animation and all that stuff. But as you can see, you know, it's okay, it's pretty good. I don't know what the hell to do with this deck. What the hell did I pick? So I'm guessing I put this, I don't know. And I'm guessing I set this, the recruits. And that's 17, so I'm at 16, so I'm guessing oh, there you go. See, I can activate this, and then what? I discard that, special summon that, put that in defense, and then I'm just gonna normal summon this. So as you can see, obviously you can activate stuff, but you don't have like that hint that tells you, hey, this effect is live, you can do this, you can do that. So obviously it's a different one, but I like it a lot too. If you really like getting into these games, you know, this is a good option. I like this better than the first one, the YGO Pro Percy, because this is all Master Rule 5. You're not dependent on people agreeing to play with you with the most current rules. The rules are already set because we're already in that format, right? It's Master Rule 5 or Master Rule for 2020 revision, whatever the hell you want to call it. Okay, that's it for today's video. Hopefully you enjoyed this. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Let me know what is your favorite Yu-Gi-Oh game, and see you next time.